Last month, the Commanders started off their season with a boom and have continued to razzle and dazzle with big plays all year on both sides of the ball. Today, they ride into Birmingham to take on a red-hot Iron squad. A big-time defense with a nose for the football, and an all-around effort by Trent Richardson have led the Iron to 3-0. They look to continue their perfect season next. And we welcome you to Birmingham, Alabama. The Rains have moved out, ready for football here in week number 4 of the Alliance Sports Network, and a good one in store for you. San Antonio in town, 1-2 their record. They face the red-hot Birmingham Iron, undefeated at 3-0 this season. So good to see you and be with you, as always, alongside my broadcast partner, former first-round pick, 7 years in the NFL, Adam Archuleta. My name is Ben Holden. John Triffin with us as well, Arch. And from what you've seen in 3 weeks, what have you seen from these two teams?
Well, the Iron, much like their name, is a hard-nosed, physical, blue-collar football team that has found a way to grind out wins each and every week. And I know the Commanders have dropped their last 2 games, but I also know that they're a much better football team than their record show, and I fully expect them to come out here today ready to compete.
We saw them in week 2, and the best game so far in the Alliance against Orlando, a loss, so they are fully capable, but they will be going up against the top defense in the Alliance today.
It really is, because they do so many good things. Last week, smothering the legends in the red zone. They pressure the quarterback, 6 sacks this season, but here, this is the number one thing, the way they take away the football from the offense. 8 of them this season, 5 of those interceptions, 3 of those fumble recoveries. This defense is the reason why they're undefeated.
No question about it. Mike Riley's team, they like to use the run. They've got a stable of running backs. Logan Woodside's their guy to set up his passing.
Everything starts in the running game. They've got a great complementary backfield with Kenneth Farrow, and last week the speed of Trey Williams, and that really sets up what I think Logan Woodside does best. Use the play action, stretch the field, and go after opposing secondaries.
Look forward to it. San Antonio looking to get their record to 500 here in week number 4 of the Alliance. But they'll face the top defense in Birmingham in a run game featuring Trent Richardson coming up next. Welcome back to Legion Field here in Birmingham, Alabama. Just about set to go with our first snap between the Iron and the San Antonio Commanders. A lot of rain moved through here earlier today. Let's get down to John Triff, and third member of our team, for an update on that. Triff.
Well, Ben, that was the big concern just until a short while ago. It had rained very hard here in Birmingham all morning long. Because of that, this field was soaked. Take a look at the video we shot just a few hours ago when the players arrived. Standing water everywhere. Player safety was a huge concern. Well, this ground crew has done a phenomenal job. There are pumps underneath this field that have pulled the water away. Now that this rain has stopped, the water is gone, and the field is ready to play. Ben?
Thanks, John. I know everyone happy about that. Mike Riley, San Diego Chargers head coach in his time in the NFL, also at Nebraska. Daryl Johnston there, the general manager, on the sidelines as well. And Tim Lewis, Arch, we're getting to know Tim and his team pretty well, aren't we?
He is, and he has put together quite a team, much in his personality. No nonsense, blue collar, and the defense has been outstanding.
It really has. We saw the Iron last week at Atlanta, their victory, and then week 1 here, their victory against Memphis. The weather, 15% chance of rain. It's cooled off. It was in the low 60s yesterday, but today a different story. But the rain, as John Triffin told us and we mentioned, is moved out, and Birmingham will get the football first. Arch, it'll be their first snap from the 25-yard line here in week 4 of the Alliance. And Luis Perez will be under center. Trent Richardson leads the Alliance with 6 touchdowns. But Perkins will be in there to get things going on this first series here for Birmingham.
Third down, my friend. Hey, he's all good.
From the 25, Perez stands in, flings it, open man, catch made at the 39-yard line. And LaDamian Washington, the grab, a gain of 14, that's a first down. Luis Perez, thoughts on him, Arch? You've seen him twice now.
Well, what I like about Perez is that he is an accurate quarterback, and he seems to function better when they use a lot of play action, when they get him outside the pocket and they allow him to make throws downfield on the run.
Gives it off here to Richardson. Richardson across the 40 to the 41. Going to pick up a 3. Joel Lanning made the stop there. Lanning coming off a terrific week last week, led the San Antonio defense with 8 tackles.
Temple on the stop.
A quarterback was Lanning in his college days, switched to linebacker. All he did was lead Iowa State his senior year in tackles and was an All-American, making the switch to the defensive side of the ball. Second down and 7. Perez again going deep. Dangerous throw there into double coverage. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. Ryan Stewart nearly got it.
Wow, what a dangerous pass. Perez doesn't see Bowsby, who is the right corner. They try to run Bowsby down the field with a clear-out route, but Bowsby did such a good job of looking back at the quarterback, playing zone coverage, and almost coming up with an interception on the first drive of the year.
Bowsby with 2 interceptions to lead that San Antonio defense. They both come against San Diego. Week 1 and last week in week 3. 3rd and 7 here now. Third down conversion. You see what Birmingham's done in that department. Perez on the run. Open man's Richardson. He's got it. Trent Richardson inside of San Antonio territory, moving the pile. Big gain close to the 40-yard line. They'll call it 19 yards on the pickup.
One of the things, and we talked about it just a few plays ago, is how Perez does when he gets outside the pocket. Trent Richardson is just pass blocking. But as soon as he feels the defender flow outside to get to Perez, he just falls off into the route, and Perez keeps his eyes down the field, spots a wide open Richardson, and converts on their first 3rd down of the game.
10th grab of the season for Richardson for 68 yards. Perez 17 out of 31 for 160 last week. He gets away and again into double coverage, and they break it up. Brings up 2nd down and 10 now for Birmingham.
You know, we talked to last week, we had the Iron playing the Atlanta Legends, and we talked to the offensive coordinator here for Birmingham, Steve Logan, and they really thought the one thing they wanted Luis Perez to do better was keep his eyes downfield and be able to get to his 2nd and his 3rd reads. That there were too many opportunities that they had missed in the first couple of games. And so far, he has really done a nice job of doing that, extending plays and looking downfield.
There's a toss to Ladarius Perkins. Slithers his way through there. Pickup of 3 there on the run. 3rd down upcoming. And let's take a look at who to watch for today for Birmingham on offense and on defense, San Antonio.
Really like what I see from LaDamian Washington. He's a big guy, 6'4", and he can really run. Maybe one of the faster receivers here for Birmingham. And Deron Smith has been pretty much elite. He plays free safety, and the way that he can read the quarterback, his range from the middle of the field to the sideline is one of the best in the Alliance.
Good stuff. 3rd down and 7 here now. Perez and the Iron trying to keep the drive alive. Perez open man off the hands there. They had the 1st down. It was off the hands of Tobias Palmer. 4th and 7 upcoming. They're going to trot on the punt team.
The play started out with some great promise because Perez did a really nice job of using his eyes, looking to the left side of the field to get that backside window to open up. But as he went back to his backside receiver, the ball comes out of his hand funny, and he misses the throw. That is a throw right there on 3rd down that he's got to make. He did 90% of the things on that snap well. You just have to finish the play.
Here's Colton Schmidt on, reigning special teams player of the week. The Alliance have had that honor by somebody on their special teams for 3 weeks, and how about that effort? A 35-yard punt. Joe Powell down there to down it near the goal line.
Free, 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 free. Free, free, free. Free, 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 free. Free, 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 free.
Free. Free, free, free.
That's right. TurboTax Free is free.
free, 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 free.
So 11:52 to go in the opening quarter, and Logan Woodside, the offense on. They're going to start at the 1. Keys of the game, Arch.
Well, Commanders, no big plays. That has been the one reason why they have lost their last 2. And I think for Birmingham, you look at the tape and you look at the numbers. If you can get pressure on Woodside, that's where he starts to break down. You've got to get consistent players in his face and force him to make the negative play.
Kenneth Farrow's in the backfield in the end zone next to Logan Woodside.
Bingo shot!
Woodside comes out throwing. He gets him out of the hole, and they get the first down. As Mikhail McKay comes up with a grab and gives him some breathing room, a pickup at 12. As we get a closer look at Logan Woodside, was electric at Toledo and drafted in the 7th round by Cincinnati.
Had a strong start to the season, but cooled off a little bit. Maybe you can argue had his worst game of the year last week, but what I love about him is that he is fearless. He is not afraid to rip that ball down the field and test coverage.
2 touchdowns, but he has 5 interceptions, as you touched on there last week. Max Redfield in on the tackle on Farrell. Redfield's been a guy on that defense for Birmingham that flies around. Their secondary really playing well. The whole defense is, obviously, but that secondary has really stood out in the times we've seen them.
Bingo shot!
Pick up a 3. It's Farrell again. Broke a couple of tackles, and Farrell, some tough running. He's close to the first down, but it looks like they're going to mark him just shy. They're going to call it a pickup of 7.
We talk about the Commanders and their great balance, and you see right now Mike Riley, the head coach, and Matt Troxel, the offensive coordinator, getting to the line of scrimmage and snapping the ball quickly in this game.
Farrell, and Farrell again, tough running from Kenneth Farrell, the product of the University of Houston. Devin Taylor made the stop, but it's a first down for San Antonio.
And the Commanders are going lightning quick. And we talk again about the balance in the running game. Number 2 in the alliance running the football, and it's by committee. There's not a lead back. Kenneth Farrell maybe has the most carries, but I really like what I saw last week out of Trey Williams, number 35. That is a guy that gives this offense a dangerous big play ability.
I'm right there with you, Arch. I was very impressed by him, and he's in there now. As Williams trying to get free, but he's going against a defense that is just flat out, pun intended, iron strong. And here's who to keep an eye on, Arch. You mentioned Williams, and for Birmingham, Casey Sales.
Yeah, led all backs last week, 7 carries for 75 yards. And a guy that cannot wait to get to the outside. Great speed. And Casey Sales, one of the leaders up front for the Birmingham Iron defense. 6 pressures, 1 sack, 3 quarterback hits a week ago. Number 90 figures to be in the backfield for the entire game.
Yeah, he was very busy last week indeed. Williams stays in on 2nd and 9 here.
Bingo shot!
Woodside looking to put it up, and he does. They've got the first down and then some, and they get it into the hands of Greg Ward Jr. Beautiful play there to move the sticks, Arch.
Devin Taylor, number 53, almost gets inside the window right here with that long arm and gets his hand on that ball. And Devin Taylor is starting today for Xavier Dixon. Devin Taylor is a situational pass rusher. Of course, spent a lot of time, 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions, with solid 18.5 sacks. Almost gets his hand on the ball right there.
6'8" and 270 pounds is Taylor, and he's in on the tackle once again. 4th round pick of the Detroit Lions in 2013 was Taylor. Kenneth Farrell. So you mentioned the running back stable. Today, the odd man out is Aaron Green. And Mike Riley told us, he said, it's a tough call for me every week. You've got Farrell, Cobb, now Williams in the mix, and Aaron Green.
They do, and all 3 backs that are playing today, Farrell, Williams, and David Cobb, all have unique abilities and fill a specific role.
2nd down and 8 now from the 40. Woodside. Pressured, stepped up, good job to step up, it's tipped and then into the hands of Alonzo Moore. It was tipped, the intended target was Cam Clear, 18-yard pickup.
You know, sometimes down, I would say that is down by contact.
I'd agree with you.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And what started out as a clear drop And Alonzo Moore in just the right spot to keep this drive going.
Redfield there trying to knock it out. Tocho, who's a ball hawk as well.
Hey, easy.
Alonzo Moore played his college ball, played for head coach Mike Riley. When he was at Nebraska, Farrell's in. This drive started, folks, at the 1 yard line. Woodside looking sharp so far. Fires over the middle, and nearly a one-handed catch by Greg Ward. In traffic, but incomplete.
Intended for Ward, incomplete.
Now, when we talk about Logan Woodside, the one area that he probably has to improve is the drop back passing game. You know, he is excellent. This football team is excellent, probably because of the strength of their running game in play action. He is not afraid to throw the ball down the field, but where he's kind of slipped a little bit when it's a pure drop back passing game. So far in this game, I think he started out pretty good, but that's what we're going to have to watch as the game goes on.
Right. Good run there. Farrell, tough run. Good pickup. Sets him up for 3rd and short. They pick up 8. Max Redfield on the tackle.
So when we talk about both of these running backs, Farrell is the inside runner when they choose to run the inside zone, and Trey Williams is the guy that really wants to use his speed and get to the edge.
Birmingham defense, 21.4% conversion rate for the opposition. But the opposition in this situation against Tim Lewis's defense picks up the first drive. And Arch, this drive again started at the 1, coming up on the 11th play of the drive, continues.
Well, San Antonio is #1 in the league in 3rd down conversions, 44%. But last week, Ben, they were 1 for 12, and that's played a huge part in dropping that game to San Diego. So far in this game, they're right on schedule what they've done the entire year.
Woodside turns and hands off. Good stick by Campbell there. Coming in to get Trey Williams. Campbell mentioned those other guys in the secondary. He's coming off a good week as well.
Well, you've got to be a sure tackler when number 35 is in the game. Because, as I've mentioned earlier, he loves to get to the edge. And so what does that mean? You're going to have safeties and corners who are going to have to come up and make a one-on-one tackle in open field against a terrific athlete.
Led the secondary last week, did Campbell, with 7 tackles and a couple of passes defended. 2nd and 6. Woodside dropped over the middle. As DeMarcus Ayers, who made a brilliant one-handed catch in week 2 of the game we did, couldn't come up with it there.
Zone read, run pass option, and Woodside has the window. And we see this week in and week out in the Alliance. One of the skills that these receivers have to develop is to be consistent pass catchers. Too many drops. Too many drives have stalled because the receivers have not been able to secure the catch.
What a battle. You saw those numbers there. So far on this drive, San Antonio is 2 for 2 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Woodside over the middle. Catch is made, and they've got the first down. It was Trey Williams who comes out of the backfield and makes the catch at the 20-yard line.
Really nice job from Woodside, reading the coverage, seeing Trey Williams come out of the backfield on an option route, and he's wide open. So again, the team that came in here as the best 3rd down offense in the Alliance continuing to have their success and now find themselves at the 20-yard line.
Indeed they do, knocking on the door. Ward shifts in a little tighter, comes in motion. And they go back to Kenneth Farrell, who's been running it very well on this opening drive. Matthew Wells made the tackle, and see what Birmingham has done in the red zone. I mean, hard to top that, Arch.
It really is, and you can argue that that's one of the key reasons why they find themselves at 3-0.
Yep. San Antonio going quick again. It's Farrell, and Farrell is awful close. He's going to be less than a yard shy, it looks, from the spot. It'll bring up another 3rd down.
But this is what showed up last week. San Antonio 0 for 3 in the red zone. And a big reason was because they tried to take a lot of shots when they got around that 20-yard line. But
3rd and a yard. San Antonio 4 of 4 on this drive on 3rd down, make it 5 out of 5. What a drive they have put together to this point.
Oh, this is clogged up, and initially it looked like Woodside, he was stopped. But a nice choice of choosing to go to the left side when Birmingham had completely clogged up that right side and just found enough space to get up in there and pick up the 1st down. But we saw the same thing last week from the Atlanta Legends. Drive right down the field in their first drive of the game, but inside the 10-yard line,
yes,
this defense is tough.
They stiffened big time. Woodside floats it into the corner, and unable to come up with a catch there was Evan Rodriguez. 2nd and goal coming up. It's exactly what they did against Atlanta last week.
Oh, play action pass, and I thought initially pretty good reaction, pretty good coverage out there from Shaheed Salmon. And one of the reasons why this defense is so tough in my eyes is because they're really good at man coverage. And if you're not good at separating and getting that little window against this defense, it's going to be awfully difficult to complete any passes when you get in close against this team.
Heavy set here, they get it to Farrell, trying it outside. There's that defense taking everybody out over there. Jamar Summers and Massaquoi, and it brings up 3rd and goal.
Great job today of setting this edge. Farrow is trying to get outside, but boy, watch. Play off the block of the tight end, work down the line of scrimmage, and allow your defensive back time to get off the block and make the play as a supplementary tackler. Really a nice job. And right now, Woodside has to try and figure out something to go against this defense. Look for some crossing routes from one side of the field to the other, one of their favorite plays.
This is the 20th play of the drive. Pressure coming, they got him! A flag comes in, as bursting in there was Beniquez Brown. Had 12 tackles last week. There is a flag, so we'll check that at the 12-yard line.
Could be an illegal defensive formation. It looked like they had 5 men on the line of scrimmage, which means one of those guys is designated to blitz, but they blitz an off linebacker, and that could be the call.
Legal blitz. 4th down.
So here it is, 5 on the line of scrimmage, but then this linebacker blitzes. And once you have a linebacker or the extra guy on the line of scrimmage, he is designated as the only blitzer that can come, and that's why they call the illegal defense.
So the ball spotted back at the 21-yard line. And they'll bring on Nick Rose, who is 7 for 7 this season. See what he's done in his NFL career. This will be a 39-yard attempt. Snap a little high, but Zima pulls it down. And San Antonio on the road. The first points in this game after a 21-play drive that covered 78, 3-0 Commanders.
Well, my parents met in Texas, then they moved to Washington. They had me at Fort Knox. They keep all the gold there. After that, we moved to Georgia for a couple years. Then we spent some time in Korea. Seaweed snack. Ew. And now we live here for good.
Our members call many places home.
Oh, lots of questions.
So we made owning a home easier. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
2:18 remaining in the opening quarter. San Antonio, a 21-play, 78-yard drive and a field goal of 39 to make it 3-0. Our Skycam today is being brought to you by Wheels Up.
I tell you, Tim Lewis's defense is just almost impossible. It's almost like a, at least for me anyways, like a Rubik's Cube. You know, I get one of those and I just can't solve it. But
yeah,
somehow Mike Riley in this offense is going to have to wait to get past this red zone defense if they want a chance of winning this game.
You're not kidding. They are tough. Tim Lewis stops as a defensive coordinator in Pittsburgh and with the New York Giants. Here's Perez, second possession of the game, and he's taking a deep shot. Washington's out there, and coming over to take it away there there, but they're saying Bowsby was out of bounds. So we'll have to wait for another time for his third interception.
Wow, this is such good play by Bowsby. Does he come in? Right foot. Oh, and the left foot just comes down out of bounds, but what a reaction for him to come over, make that play on the football, and almost makes a great play by picking it off.
He really did. 2 interceptions on the season. It was Washington, that big, tall target out there. Richardson lined up behind Luis Perez. Dozen tackles on the season for Bowsby as well. Richardson plows ahead. Good pickup out to the 31-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down and 4 coming up with 2 minutes to go in the quarter.
Trent Richardson obviously has taken over as the lead back here for Birmingham. 6 touchdowns on the season, but the way I see it, this running game, they need more breakaway runs. You know, he's only averaging about 2.6 yards per carry, but they've got to be able to rip off some big explosive runs for them to have more balance in their offense.
Yeah, came in with 59 carries for 145 yards. That leads the league with those 6 touchdowns. Second in the alliance is Birmingham on 3rd down conversions. Free play here, they're gonna blow it dead. And as the right end came in there way too early.
Just a bit early.
Just a bit.
Two, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty. Yardage results in a 1st down.
So Jaron Elliott, one getting that early start there, and it moves the sticks for Birmingham.
And those are the tough ones, the freebies, when you just give them a free 1st down because of a lapse of concentration.
1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 now from the 36. Brandon Ross, the running back. Saxton in motion, the tight end. Brandon Ross finds a seam, gets his way through there, still moving the pile. Good pickup there. As we move inside of a minute left in the quarter, a gain of 6. So Brandon Ross, who was inactive last week, spent time in the NFL with Minnesota and Green Bay, product of the University of Maryland.
Second down and 4 from the 42.
Ross remains in the game at the running back spot. He gets it straight ahead. And the San Antonio front, who, thinking back, Arch, when we saw him in week 2, that front, they didn't win the game, but I thought they played pretty well in that game against Orlando. They got some good push. There's an injured Birmingham player down on the field here as the clock stopped with 14 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. We'll step aside with 3rd and 3 coming up when we come back.
How old are you?
Basically 15.
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
Shazam.
A lair. Yes. If you have a location like on a cliff.
Overlooking some water.
Then we will take that.
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX.
So 14 seconds to play here in the opening quarter, and Brandon Green played his college ball about an hour from here in Tuscaloosa. They tend to him. Checking out that right leg as we look back, Arch.
You see number 60 on the left side gets rolled up on the back of his leg, and for the Iron, they're already down today probably their best player in Hassenauer.
Yeah, center, out 2 to 4 weeks, they told us, with a knee injury.
And so that means Kid O'Brien, who normally plays left guard, he's filling in at center today. And so now, which I think was a strength of this offense, the offensive line dealing with some injuries.
Dominic Jackson also out of their lineup today at right tackle, their normal starter at right tackle. So 3rd and 3 upcoming here. And that'll happen in the second quarter. 3-0, the road team, San Antonio, on top here against undefeated Birmingham. That's the end of the opening quarter with a 3-0 score. Great to have you with us here on this Sunday afternoon. You're watching the Alliance of American Football on CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. They start them young here as football fans in the great state of Alabama. 3-0 San Antonio on top of Birmingham. Down to John Schriffen standing by with Jamar Summers. Schriff.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. Jamar, just like you guys did last week against Atlanta, this first drive of the game against San Antonio, your defense came up tough in the red zone. What is it about your unit where you guys seem to step up with your back against the goal line?
At the end of the day, it's backs against the wall. You know, somebody got to come up with a play. We got to come up with a stop. 3 is better than 6.
Good stuff. Good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, John. And I see my partner over here smiling about their defense.
Why wouldn't I smile?
Of course.
We're watching some football here today.
The 43-yard line.
It's like watching a 1-year-old getting fed some milk at a football cold day at a football stadium.
Adam Archuleta, John Schriffen, Ben Holden, all of our crew. Great to have you with us. 3rd and 3 here for Birmingham. Trying to convert here. They had to punt on their first possession. And that one's nearly intercepted twice. Nearly picked off, but incomplete.
Perez pass intended for pass, incomplete.
Another good play inside. I want to say that's Danny Ezechukwu, number 56. Is that 56?
It is.
Really a nice job. Perez in the pocket, scanning, trying to get through all of his progressions, and then hitting that hook route right over the football. One of their favorite plays on 3rd down, but did not account for Ezechukwu, who broke on that ball.
There's Schmidt on to punt for the second time. The 36-yard punt. It pinned San Antonio at their 1. Here's Warren, catches it. Fair catch called for on the run. Inside of the 10-yard line, a 48-yard punt. San Antonio on the road with the lead, and they've got the football when we come back.
In an era of online retail where everything is just a few clicks away, buying a car should be no different. That's why at Carvana, you can buy a car 100% online. We made it easy to browse, view, and buy from over 10,000 cars. You can even trade in your old car, all while binge watching your favorite TV show. Afterwards, we'll deliver your car to you. Or you can pick it up from one of our car vending machines. Either way, your car comes with a 7-day return policy. So grab a seat, relax in your comfy pants, and enjoy the new way to buy a car at Carvana.
Early on in the second quarter, Mike Riley's team with a 3-0 lead. They've got the ball for the second time here. Before we get to that, we're taking a look now at the Irons home field, brought to you by At Home, the At Home Decor Superstore. And opened in 1927, UAB played here, hosted the Iron Bowl between Alabama and Auburn from 48 to 88, and was also used as a site for men's and women's soccer during the 96 Olympics that were held a couple of 100 miles away in Atlanta. So San Antonio goes to work here. Opening drive for them started at the 1. This one starting at the 8. They went 21 plays, 78 yards, but they were held inside of the red zone. They were held inside of the 10 and forced to kick a field goal as Farrell goes on first down for about 3.
Yeah, and they've done it, again, kind of their recipe the entire season. They've done it with good balance. So far in this game, they've run for 44 yards. They're only averaging about 3.4 yards per carry. But that should start to open up some things downfield. I think this offense is best. Woodside is best when they attack downfield. And they've been a big play offense so far this season.
Yeah, they've got Mikhail McKay, big target they like to go to, one of the top receivers in the Alliance. Farrell on the carry, 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 3 they're going to need. Beniquez Brown on the tackle. There is McKay. He had 4 for 91, had a 47-yard touchdown last week. Their first play from scrimmage off a turnover. Yeah.
Well, they're 4 of 5 so far in this game on 3rd down against one of the better 3rd down defenses in the Alliance.
And you saw their defensive coordinator, Rick Minner. What does he do here? What's his defense do? Here they come. Woodside gets rid of it. Got a man out there. And underneath it is DeMarcus Ayers, who makes another beautiful grab to get the first down, Arch, a gain of 19.
Yeah, Tim Lewis brings 5 on a blitz, and so it's man-on-man coverage, and Ayers against a pretty good corner out there. Breaks to the outside. Woodside puts just enough air under it. And as they have done the entire game, another third down conversion, now 5 of 6 on the day.
Impressive. Very impressive. There's Summers. March was referencing 2 interceptions for him on the season. And timeout been taken by San Antonio.
San Antonio, they're first.
So Woodside will talk things over with Mike Riley. The Alliance of American Football app is #1 in both the Google and Apple stores, and if you download it now, all sorts of Easter eggs are hidden in it. Let's take a look. San Antonio Commanders on top 3-0 here early in the second quarter. And in conjunction with Navy Federal Credit Union, the Alliance is proud to be staging a military seat upgrade program where families each week are able to upgrade their seats on game day in recognition of their service. Great thing they're doing there, and see some veterans there in the crowd. 1st and 10 here. Woodside out of the timeout.
Roll. Hey, Trojan. Right.
Little tight stack to Woodside's right. They like to run outbreaking routes.
This is Farrell with it. Good pickup. Kenneth Farrell running tough. Dragged down by Max Redfield.
Watch the 2 tight ends, number 85 and number 88. Really nice piece of blocking right there. And Farrell, who I think really has a good feel for the inside zone, spots the hole, uses that compact body of his, that low center of gravity, and falls forward to finish the run.
Cam Clear, 85, you were talking about. Evan Rodriguez, 88, those 2 tight ends. 7-yard pickup. Farrell to the outside, use the blocks. Good pickup from Kenneth Farrell. There is a flag down, though. Stopped by Jeremy Falk. We'll have to check the marker, though, from referee John O'Neill.
Possibly a hold on the left tackle.
All right.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
Boy, it looks like a tackle. Cam Clear, the tight end, number 85, 6'5", 277 pounds. He is their inline tight end. But number 85, right on the bottom of your screen, you see how he gets the left arm wrapped against that shoulder pad.
Yes.
Of Jonathan Massaquoi, and
Woodside's reaction. So that backs him up. 2nd and 13. Ball at the 31-yard line. On the ground again. Going nowhere. David Cobb, his first carry of the day. He'll lose a yard. The product of the University of Minnesota. That defense stiffening again. Falk on the tackle.
Yeah, watch this. Really nice job. Jeremy Falk, one of the better defensive linemen in the Alliance. Look at that power, how he just stones the right guard, Cyril Richardson, gets off of that block and makes the play. He's one of the more powerful defensive linemen on this front. He showed you right there exactly why.
3rd and long. They need 14. Trey Williams in the backfield. Tim Lewis loves Jeremy Falk for the way he plays, and he's a leader, and they don't get it here. They get it over the middle to McKay, but the tackle made by Massaquoi. 4th down, punt team comes on. That defense stands up this time and gets the stop.
Yeah, nice job from Tim Lewis's defense getting off the field. And so far in this game, they've been on the field for 25 plays as opposed to just 12 going the other way. So that is a huge drive right there to get off the field, get some rest. Now it's up to Perez and that offense to try and put a drive together to give that defense some rest.
Here's Joseph Zima. 44.2 per punt last week. Flag flies. Everybody point, no, it was him. Hey, it was him.
Delay of game. Defense number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Hold on, Quentin Patton. So the deep man awaiting the punt from Zima, Gavazier Felton. He's a speedster back there, 5'6" and 153. He can scoop. See if he gets a chance to do so on this punt return. Calls for the fair catch, not this time, and makes it the 10-yard line, a 48-yard punt. 10:04 left here in this first half. Birmingham's got the football, and we come back.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me.
10:04 to play in the second quarter. Birmingham's got the football, trailing 3-0 here. Orlando a winner last night to remain perfect in the East. Birmingham trying to stay on track with Steve Spurrier's team. Two teams will meet next week, in fact, here in Birmingham. Perez swings it out to Richardson, makes the catch. He is met immediately after a pickup of a couple. Austin Larkin, the tackle. Let's check in with John down on the field.
Well, Birmingham is now without their starting left tackle, Brandon Green. He is out with a knee injury. His return to the game is questionable. Ben?
All right, thank you, John. And that is a tough blow, as Arch talked about earlier. Hassenauer, their center out. They've already moved some other guys around. Dominic Jackson out today as well. Brandon Ross, the deep back, calling a gain of 2 on that play to Richardson. Ross, nice piece of running there to set up third and short. Just shy of the 20, was stopped by Tyrone Holmes, gain of 8.
This is a critical third down here for Luis Perez in the Birmingham offense, and he has only been able to complete 3 of 8 passes so far today, and before this drive, only 19 yards rushing. We already talked about how much their defense has been on the field, but here they have to find a way to pick up this first down. Only 1 for 3 so far in this game.
Richardson, the deep back. There he's set, they give it to Richardson. And Richardson gets it and then some. Still on his feet. They're going to give him progress out to the 24. Winston Craig, the first to get him. Duke Thomas helped out as well.
Straight downhill right behind the backup center, Kid O'Brien, number 79. And this is where Richardson is at his best. When he gets near the goal line, short yardage situations, when he can get his shoulders square, and he just keeps those legs driving with all that power that he has.
And another Birmingham offensive lineman, that's Kervin Corrin. They tend to him. We'll step aside.
I've been a soldier for 3 years. I've scaled the toughest terrain and faced plenty of my fears as part of my training. And for the past 2 years, I've been a Navy Federal member. So even out here, I can pay securely with mobile pay, linked to my free checking account.
I don't know about this. It's...
What did you say?
She said, I don't know about
No,
that.
I couldn't hear my helmet.
No, your ears are completely exposed.
Yeah, I just...
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Well, big 6'5", 334-pound Kervin Corrin needing help to get off. That's the last thing Tim Lewis and his football team needs right now. As we take a look back.
You can see the left knee there, the left leg. Again, that pile today for both football teams have been brutal. And this seems to be the story right now for Birmingham and the health of their offensive line against what really is one of the better defensive fronts here in the Alliance. There's a lot of players up front that can really make some plays for the Commanders, and this is going to affect Perez and his ability to set up to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, Birmingham, 13 sacks. Talk about being in command. Here's a deep shot. He takes it! And incomplete. looking for Quentin Patton. Beautiful job breaking that up. Deron Smith and Duke Thomas.
Had the opportunity. Watch how Patton splits the double team. Bracket coverage, and he's got a step. Lay the ball out there, allow him to run, but because that ball was underthrown, Deron Smith now has a chance to recover and stick his arm in there. Now, it looked like Patton, it looked like he dropped his football. Let's see, does it hit his hands? Nope, it hits Smith in the right arm. But there was an opportunity. Patton did get a step on both defenders, but the ball was thrown late and underthrown and allowed San Antonio to make the play.
Here's Brandon Ross. And Ross running tough. They're going to spot him down at the 31. Smith on the tackle there as we inch closer to the midway point of the second quarter.
Now, we talked at the beginning of the game for San Antonio and their need to really limit the big play. That's been the one thing that has hurt their defense this year, and we had them 2 weeks ago against the Apollos where they gave up big play after big play, and on that time, boy, Birmingham had an opportunity to make them pay for a mistake, but they failed to capitalize.
3rd and 3 here. Perez floating one out there, and Crosby in the neighborhood there with Felton, the intended target, brings up 4th down. And they'll bring on the punt group again. So San Antonio's defense doing the job here so far on this Birmingham offense.
And they have been a good defense in some areas. Now, they pressure the quarterback as good as anybody in the alliance, but really it comes down to big plays. If this defense can stop big plays, they can assert themselves as one of the better defenses here in the league.
I'm right there with you on that. Here's Schmidt. Ward. Calling for the fair catch, lets it bounce, and that's taking a few fortunate bounces for Birmingham there as they'll down that at the 10-yard line. Well, earlier this week, one of our camera operators, David Zarilla, lost his father, William. David's been a longtime member of our CBS crew, and we are certainly thinking of you, David, your family. Our thoughts, our prayers, our condolences to the Zarilla family. So 7:05 to go until halftime. San Antonio starting their average starting field position, their own 6.
Birmingham special teams really has done a nice job of forcing San Antonio to go the entire length of the field.
Colton Schmidt has done a great job. Woodside wants to fire and does. Pitch and catch there. As Ward made the catch, but they're going to call him down. There's that defense, stripping the ball, ripping it, doing everything they can. As we look back, Arch.
Long developing route, good protection, and looks like the left forearm and left elbow does touch the ground. So therefore, that tells me down by contact. Now, does the ball start moving? Looks like the ball is secure until it touches the ground.
Ruled down by contact, as you said. Woodside 7 out of 10 throwing the rock so far. You can hear that all the way up here. Farrow took it there. San Antonio got their field goal, if you're just joining us, on a 21-play, 78-yard drive that began at their own 1.
You got the dig.
2nd and 7 upcoming.
Lady. 5-0. Here we go. Bingo, son.
Woodside got a man open, flag down, catch is made. It's Rodriguez. But we'll have to check the marker back at the 28-yard line.
Woodside's pass. Rodriguez.
So an illegal man downfield.
Would have been a great play. Evan Rodriguez comes over from the other side of the field, and I just can't quite get a number on the offensive lineman who was downfield illegally, and It's really kind of the story here. San Antonio has done a nice job driving the football, but in successive drives, a mistake now puts them in second and long.
Yeah. Kenneth Farrow in the backfield next to Woodside. Logan Woodside loads and fires and incomplete. Off the hands of Cam Clear, 3rd and long coming up.
You really see with this offense the importance of staying on schedule. And that's, when we talk about balance, that's what it comes down to. Being able to be in an unpredictable down and distance, running or passing situation. But when they are in obvious passing situation, this football team seems to struggle. So now they find themselves here at 3rd and 12 against a tough defense.
And 5 of 7 on 3rd down so far.
55.
They need the 33 to convert.
Bingo shot.
Woodside had to get rid of it. Kicks off over the middle. What a shot! What a shot delivered by Joe Powell. Welcome to Birmingham.
Watch Powell. He's going to look from the other side of the field and see this coming. Beautiful job by Powell. He's just reading. He knows the ball has to come out on a blitz, and he makes perfect anticipation with a proper pad leverage and makes the big hit.
Wow. Zima on to punt again. Short kick here. And it's picked up by Felton on the roll. And Felton gets a little something out of what looked like nothing. Flag comes in. And coming into the shove there was Arthur Miley. As the officials continue to separate, there's Powell. After that massive hit. The officials convene to sort this out.
Yeah, I think Miley sees one of the iron emerge from the pile, and maybe he thinks he's running with a football, but you've got to listen for the whistle. And this is going to be a clear flag on number 93.
The word coming from John O'Neill, our referee here. Issues with a microphone, probably the moisture in the air. As you see Mike Riley's reaction. And we'll look back at it here, Arch.
Yeah, but watch Miley. He gets hit from behind up here, and then he hits the receiver.
Felton, yeah.
So Miley's sitting there saying, hey, wait a minute, I get hit in the back. Watch number 44.
That's
he
Powell.
hits Miley in the back, and then he runs into the receiver, and they throw the flag on Miley. So he's trying to say, wait a minute.
It's always the second guy,
it's
right?
always the second guy,
Yes.
but he didn't. You know what? I tell my son all the time, sometimes life isn't fair.
True.
Ben, and I think this one is one of those examples that I'm going to have to show him. See, life isn't fair.
The time of possession game. Double. And Tim Lewis's football team offensively will look to put a drive together here with 4.5 to play in the half. At the 2-minute warning as well. Just 71 yards so far for this Birmingham offensive unit. The good news for them, they've only given up 3 points. Good day for a football game. Shirt off, got some paint on supporting their hometown team here in Birmingham. Richardson back into the right of Perez. Perez takes a shot down to the 35-yard line, found it. Wes Saxton, one of their tight ends, a pickup of 14. Saxton joined him last week. 3 catches for 25 yards in his first game in the win over Atlanta. And 1st and 10. Perez finds LaDamian Washington. Clock inside of 4 to play in the half. 2nd and short upcoming. Bowsby on the tackle.
Good, sharp, crisp start to this drive, and You know, looking at the offensive line, thinking that, you know, maybe undermanned a little bit right now. Let's get to some quick passing and get the ball out of Perez's hands. And the Commanders are playing off and allowing space underneath. And look for the Commanders maybe to challenge these wide receivers a little bit to get Perez to hold on to the football.
2nd and 4. Perez over the middle. He's got his target. It's Patton, and Patton inside of San Antonio territory. Smith made the stop, 16-yard pickup. Patton says, yep, first down, and she is.
Man-to-man coverage at the bottom. Quentin Patton against Bowsby, Devontae Bowsby, in a simple crossing route. Bowsby is in pretty good shape, but just enough separation right there. Patton is able to step through the diving tackle attempt. Good accurate ball. Patton doesn't have to slow down, and he has an opportunity to run with the ball in his hands.
Luis Perez, 3 for 3 on the drive, throwing it. Nobody open, and he flings it to Richardson. Just shovel that one out there. Darnell Leslie made the tackle.
Really nice job in pass protection. Nobody is open downfield, and Perez just tries to make something happen right there. A little flick of the wrist and pick up some positive yards.
A little basketball on that play. A little dish there of the football. 2nd and 5 now. Perez still perfect on the drive, and not anymore as that one's incomplete with 2:03 to go. Pressure was applied by Winston Craig.
Little shot right there from Winston Craig right up the middle, and this little pass over the middle. It's the 2nd or 3rd time today that Perez has tried to hit the hook right over the football. They had a lot of success with that route a week ago versus the Atlanta Legend, but the linebackers are coached up very well here for the Commanders and have been all over it.
Yep. So timeout taken. 3rd and 5 upcoming. 2:03 remaining. Birmingham with 2 timeouts left. Well, you've got players and coaches wearing microphones. Let's take a listen so far today.
Freeze, here we go. Hey, we gotta hurry, we gotta hurry. The last play, you gotta go under. You can't jump out around it.
No, you're just calling that because he heard you.
And our audio crew in the tape room putting those clips together. I really like that about this league. They let players, coaches wear the microphones. I think it's a great feature. Get you inside even closer than you've ever been, probably.
Yeah, you think the coaches enjoy that, you know?
Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah.
I think it's fun. I think it's great to kind of hear the sounds every once in a while. Maybe some things said that you'd like to have back, but
yes.
That's football, right?
It is. 3rd and 5 here for Tim Lewis and his football team, trailing 3-0 to San Antonio. Darius Perkins in the backfield with Luis Perez. The motion man, Perez going to swing it out to Perkins. Big hit, but he's got the first down. Does Perkins, as Nick Temple gave him a shot, but they'll move the chains.
Good pre-snap read from Luis Perez. Knows that he's got the great matchup right there. Gets the ball out of his hands to his running back Perkins. First down, Birmingham.
Three 3-0 our score. The Commanders on top. Well, they are in San Antonio, so I like the cowboy hat look. Coming up on the Alliance All Access Halftime Report, you can join Alex Flanagan, Rod Woodson, and Kevin Carter They'll get you caught up on everything Alliance related, plus we'll have first half highlights and stats here from Birmingham. And headlines around the Alliance, we touched on that earlier, Arch. Orlando 4-0. Memphis, they get the dub.
Yeah, big win for Mike Singletary, finally getting that first win of the season. And how about the old Florida boys going out there in the snow to take care of business?
Home teams are 10-4, 7 games decided by 9 or more, and they got their own Iron Crew here in Birmingham. Hard hats out. It's that kind of town, that kind of team. Perez on this drive, 5 for 6 for 47. He's found 5 different receivers. First and 10 for him here with Perkins in the backfield. They'll spring out, and they're going to dump it off to him. He's got the catch. And he'll take it just shy of the 25, where he was tackled by Sean Washington and Joel Lanning.
Brought down in the 25-yard line by Washington.
Second down upcoming. Clock continues to move as we're inside of 2 minutes.
Yeah, Perez, you know, they can take their time right here. Time is not an issue. You have 1 minute and 35 seconds left, and you're in great field position.
8 play of the drive, 8 pass of the drive.
Get through.
Perkins' ball came out, but Perkins was in the white already. Temple finishing him off over there. So the clock stops with 1 minute 23 to go, Arch.
Yeah, we still have 1 minute and 23 seconds, and you saw that the Iron quickly tried to get up to the line of scrimmage and get that snap off. But you have plenty of time on the clock, and the ball does come out, but it goes out of bounds, so there would be no change of possession right there.
Yep. So first and 10. Clock moves, under 70 seconds left in the half. Perez, pressure coming, gets rid of it. Into the hands of Perkins. Ladarius Perkins, great job from behind. He was tripped up by Nick Temple. Beautiful tackle in the open field.
Well, you see the impact that Ladarius Perkins is having on this offense. Had a big third down grab just a couple of plays ago, but a great all-purpose back at Mississippi State. And Perez doing a nice job of dumping the ball, getting it to his hands of a great playmaker to extend these drives.
Tipped up in the air, incomplete. 3rd and 3 upcoming with 34 seconds to play in the half for Luis Perez in the offense. Deion Barnes looked to have got a piece of that. Birmingham 3, 4, 6 so far on 3rd down. Needing 4.5 their average. They need 3 here. Perez to the air, and what a break on the football by Devontae Bosby there, Arch.
It really is.
Wow.
Bowsby having a heck of a game right here. Perez thinks that he has the throw versus off coverage, but the transition, Bowsby getting out of his break. And I tell you what, if he just maybe kept his feet and kept his eye on the football, he might have been able to a chance to pick that off and go the other way, but he makes the play on the football and forces the Iron to kick a field goal.
Novak 6 out of 7. This will be a 33-yard attempt out of the hold of the punter, Colton Schmidt. Cole Mazza, the snapper, and that one is up and good. And this game is tied at 3-3 with 26 seconds to play until halftime. And while we got an opportunity, I want to remind you tonight at 8 Eastern, the toughest sport on dirt takes the stage in Little Rock, Arkansas for the Bad Boy Mowers Mowdown. The Unleash the Beast series continues right here on CBS Sports Network. So a tie game, 26 seconds to go, and ball placed at the 25. 2 timeouts left for Logan Woodside and San Antonio.
I still expect the Commanders to be conservative. 2 weeks in a row, the game was changed on a pick 6, and they're going to just take a knee and go into halftime.
They are, and that will do it for the half. A 3-3 game. Logan Woodside and his offensive group took the ball 21 plays, 78 yards, and they got a field goal as a result. Birmingham comes back here late stages of the quarter, and they tie things up at 3 apiece. San Antonio will have it to begin the second half. And let's get down to John Shriffen standing by with Tim Lewis.
All right, Coach, only 3 points on that last drive, but it looked like your offense started to click. Are they putting things together?
Well, we're starting to move the ball a little bit. You know, we had a couple of injuries that we didn't get it started off very quickly, but we're starting to get in the groove offensively.
Now, we know you are a second half team. When you talk to your coaches from upstairs when they come down, what are some of the things you're going to ask them? What adjustments do you need to make?
Well, we got to get the run stopped on first and second down on defense. They're having too many third and shorts. If we can get them in a third and longer, we can win. But right now, we've got to get that cleaned up. Offensively, just got to keep moving the football.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you, sir.
Ben?
All right, thank you, John. That's the end of the first half. Coming up, we'll send you the Alliance All Access halftime report. Great to have you with us. You're watching the Alliance on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Low-scoring one here in Birmingham. 3-3 our score. Just about set to begin the third quarter. San Antonio will get the football to begin the second half. Adam Archuleta, John Shriffen's down on the field. My name's Ben Holden. Great to have you with us here on week 4 of the Alliance. What are your biggest takeaways from half number 1?
Well, I thought when you look at the Commanders, the way they've been able to move the ball down the field and the way they started out converting on third downs, but Birmingham has been led the entire season by their defense, especially when teams get into scoring position. So I think their inability to capitalize early is going to hurt the Commanders. Birmingham's defense started to fly around a little bit and get good pressure on Woodside. They started to shut down that offensive running game. And so also for the Commanders, they've also kind of made the Birmingham Iron one-dimensional. And they've taken away the run game. Luis Perez has thrown the ball 21 times in this game. The Commanders controlling the game. Their time of possession, 17 minutes to just 12 minutes, but the score is still 3-3. And if we've learned anything about the Iron Ben this season, that they seem to get stronger and play better in the second half.
They certainly do. Huge edge in that department. Those are our first half stats brought to us today by Air National Guard. Down to John Shriffen for some updates. Shriff.
Spoke to San Antonio head coach Mike Riley, and he said, we are killing ourselves with these penalties, especially against a defense like Birmingham. We cannot get behind the 6. He said to offset that, he added in a few run plays and a few play-action pass plays. He feels like if they can get this run game going in the second half, they'll really be in business, guys.
All right, Shriff, we appreciate it. Good to have you with us here. Ball placement at the 25. That's how we do things here in the Alliance. Logan Woodside under center. San Antonio trying to even their record. This would be a big-time win if they can get it. Big-time run from Kenneth Farrow out to the 39-yard line. Move the chains on first down, Arch.
I think that's exactly what Mike Riley was talking about. Just a lead play where they bring the tight end from outside in, then they use him as a fullback. And again, Farrow inside using great vision to get upfield and start out the third quarter.
There you go.
Farrow, 14 for 66 so far today. Woodside looking to throw it, and that doesn't quite work out. As getting a piece of that was big Ricky Hatley.
Ben, we heard Tim Lewis talk about it going into halftime and the importance of the success here for Birmingham on first down.
Second and
right.
10.
If they can hold first down to little gain or no gain and put Woodside in obvious passing situation, that's going to be to the advantage of the Iron defense.
Woodside flag down, far side of the field. Summers out there on the coverage on McKay, but there is a marker 43 seconds into this third quarter.
A little encroachment on defense.
Offside. Defense number 57. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Oh, Ben, it really helps to have the mics work from the officiating crew.
We've got that fixed.
It kind of threw me off there in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, I can read lips, but when it's a couple sentences, it's a little more difficult. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and I am not good at reading lips.
Yeah. A couple words I can pick up. Here's a handoff to Farrow, trying to power his way in there. By the teeth of that Birmingham defense. Coming into this game, 8 turnovers, 7 sacks, and giving up just 21 points. And under 270 yards a game. That's second in the Alliance when this one started here today.
Third and short.
Yep.
The Commanders, when they've been in third and less than 6 yards today, have been 5 for 5 on third downs. Anything more than 6 yards, they are 0 for 3. So you see the importance in putting yourself in an advantageous third down situation.
They need a yard here. Farrell is going to get that and then some. Into the second level goes Kenneth Farrell. He is a tough customer to bring down. He's 5'9", 220, and Sylvie made the stop, but not before he moved the chains.
Watch Greg Ward, number 84, the wide receiver, come inside from outside in and get the key block. Number 84 gets the block, and Farrell sees that, and that's what opens up that hole for Farrell to pick up the first down.
Yep, that block on Redfield.
Bingo's high. 32 pop Zeus, bingo. 32 pop Zeus, bingo.
On the Birmingham side of the field with Trey Williams in the backfield. Fake it to Williams. Woodside fakes it out there, and incomplete. It was DeMarcus Ayers. It was covered out there by Tocho.
This is a great adjustment, but just runs out of room. Oh, does he drag it in? That might be a catch. Oh, I think that one is worth a challenge, and great possibility right there that DeMarcus Ayers brings that ball inbounds with control.
Mike Riley, head coach.
Love to see Mike Riley challenge that call.
Yeah. No flag out. We play on. 2nd and 10 for the Commanders. Woodside gets it away. Open man. Missed him. Had Alonzo Moore there, but just missed him. 3rd and 10 coming up. Woodside, that right hand, you see him shaking that.
Late pressure inside by number 94, Ricky Hatley. You see they kind of high-five each other as Woodside tries to come through in his follow-through. And that's why you see the ball behind his wide receiver Moore.
Yep. Well, last week, early in the 4th quarter, not his throwing hand, but he still came out of the game after taking a shot.
And 3rd and 10 has gone to Birmingham.
Yes, it has. Does it here? Yes. Once again, pressure was applied. Beniquez Brown leading the charge for the Iron defense.
One of the better athletes on the field and one of the better tacklers in the Alliance. Brown, number 55, running an inside stunt. And he beats the offensive line, the left guard in the center, and that's what puts the pressure and makes Woodside get rid of the football before he wants to.
Melton back to receive.
So Zeman to punt. Beniquez Brown entered the game 2nd in the Alliance with 28 tackles. 3rd punt of the day for Zema. Felton back deep. They try to pin it, but it goes across the goal line. And it'll be good field position for Birmingham. They won't be pinned this time. 3-3 game here early in the 3rd.
Here at Topgolf, the grass is greener on our side of the fence.
But you guys don't have grass.
True, but we have buckets of beer instead of buckets of balls. You like that? And our high-tech tee-offs let you know exactly how far you hit your 7-iron.
So I can bring my own clubs.
How else are you gonna beat your buddy Dave? Now tuck your shirt in and put your spikes on. I'm kidding. In fact, go nuts. Bet on yourself, talk a big game, score high.
You mean score low?
Score however, because this is Topgolf. This is everyone's game.
12:31 to go in the 3rd quarter, 3-3 game. Our Scott Cam today is brought to you by Wheels Up. From the 20-yard line, Birmingham's offense will get it for the first time here in this 3rd quarter. Luis Perez. How about those numbers, Arch? Especially that bottom with the red triangle. Just dominant in the 2nd half. 48-6. They've outscored their previous 3 opponents in the 2nd half. Richardson's a deep pass. Richardson gets it. It doesn't go very far.
Richardson on the
push
carry.
up front. Stephen Charles, they just signed him last week. Good play out of him.
Well, San Antonio is making the iron one-dimensional in this game. Perez has thrown the ball 21 times so far in this game, and I don't think that's the recipe that Tim Lewis is looking for to win. Somehow, some way, the iron or Trent Richardson or Ladarius Perkins, they're going to have to try and rip off some big runs and take some pressure off of this passing game.
Richardson, he's in the game next to Perez. Perez takes the shot down there and making the catch. Excellent work by Wes Saxton, the tight end. Excellent play, first down.
I thought it was an interception by the linebacker landing, number 57, who is in great position. And that ball just gets over his fingertips with great touch from Perez. And then Saxton brings it down.
Intercept. Oh, my God.
He got a piece of it, but not enough. Perez, 12 out of 22. Pressure here, he's got to get rid of it. And they're going to rule this incomplete. Sean Washington was applying the heat there to Luis Perez. 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Well, credit Birmingham's offensive line, undermanned, and we've seen some injuries happen to them in this game against really the best pass rushing team in the Alliance. The Commanders coming into this game with 13 sacks. That's 3 more than any team in the Alliance, but so far, even with the injuries, they haven't been able to get to Perez and bring him down.
Delay. Brandon Ross with a tough run. That is a big-time play, sets up 3rd and short. As Ross comes in and keeps the legs churning and burning. Gain of 7.
You said it. I mean, Ross might garner some more opportunities. So far, 5 carries, 28 yards. And he's been more productive today than Trent Richardson. Now they set him up in 3rd and 3, much better, and now gives Perez a chance to pick up this first down. Now they've gone to the running backs here on 3rd and short today. Let's see what Ross can do out of the backfield.
And it's a crossing play over the middle. Can Patton get there? No, he can't. Outstanding work. That was Danny Ezechukwu that made the play on him.
Crossing route versus zone coverage. Patton coming from the right side, but Orion Stewart, the safety on the other side, he puts the contain on him. Great job of having awareness and not allowing Patton to get outside of you to pick up that first down. So really a nice job by Mike Riley's defense getting off the field in 3rd and short.
It really was. Colton Schmidt on the punt. Greg Ward waiting back at his 10-yard line. First punt of the game for Schmidt. He pinned him at the 1-yard line, and Ward will make the fair catch at the 6-yard line. The Alliance of American Football app is #1 in both the Google and Apple stores. And if you download it now, there are all sorts of Easter eggs hidden in it. Let's take a look. Well, it won't be the first time San Antonio has started inside of their own 10-yard line. They're going to start from the 7 this time. Schmidt has done a terrific job pinning them deep.
The field position has been tough go for Mike Riley.
No question.
Hey, 31 Pop Zeus, Pepsi, 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 31 Pop Zeus.
I'm more of a Mountain Dew guy, but they call Pepsi here with Trey Williams. They fake it to him, Woodside. With the near side to Ward, incomplete. Coverage supplied by Elijah Campbell. So let's look back. Was this a catch or not? Should they have challenged it, Arch?
Yeah, well, I thought initially. So to me, he's got control there, 2 feet down, and he tucks the football. Now the ball does come out when he hits the ground, but to me, I thought that he had control and was able to put the ball away, and may have been worth the challenge for Mike Riley. I don't know if he would have won or if it would have been overturned, but thought it would have been a good challenge.
Inside over the middle. Reception made. The 12-yard line by one of their tight ends, Cam Clear. 3rd down upcoming. Look up Up top from the sky cam, they're going to need 5 here to convert. Early stages of quarter number 3.
Here we go.
60% on 3rd down for Logan Woodside and San Antonio.
Bingo, son.
Thus far, Woodside over the middle, and at defense, they stiffen again. Trey Williams, the intended target, may have been tipped. Elijah Campbell involved defensively, Arch.
Well, number 57, Massaquoi, just played this brilliantly. First, he gets the jam on the tight end, and then he's able to come off the ball and make the play on the running back. And talk about a guy that is more of a pass rusher today, has really done a nice job in coverage, in being in the right spot and being in the right window.
Zeman to punt. Devazai Felton standing back near his own 40. This one's not going to get to him. Oh, really? He does. He bobbled it. But he falls on it. And a very, very lucky bounce there for Birmingham. 52-yard punt. Ryan Stewart made the stop. And Birmingham, they dodge the bullet there and get it back.
Tell me, how old are you? Basically 15.
Be humble. You cannot tell anybody about this. Is she even good at keeping secrets?
Moderate.
No.
Oh, God.
Gentlemen,
You have bullet immunity!
you're welcome for not getting robbed.
Shazam. Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX.
Telling his teammates, hey, look, it bounced this way, went that way, but I was able to get it back. That's the bottom line, right?
Lucky break.
Yep. 3-3 game, 8:41 to go in the 3rd. Next Sunday, 4 Eastern. More Alliance comes your way here on CBS Sports Network. We'll be back in Atlanta. It'll be the Legends and the Memphis Express right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Atlanta plays the late game out in Phoenix tonight.
Ben, you know what both of these offenses need right now? It's a 3-3 game, not a lot of sparks offensively, but
yes,
somebody has to get a big play.
Yep.
You've got to get a big explosive play, and so far both defenses really doing a good job of playing deep to short and not allowing that explosive play.
Right there with you. Luis Perez makes the throw, and there's a good chuck and a good catch out to midfield. Again, he finds Wes Saxton. Big pickup there for the Birmingham offense. Gain of 25, Arch.
Trips to the right, and Saxton, number 83, is just going to find his way right between the hash marks. Good read by Perez, and as soon as he clears the linebacker, he throws it right there before the safety can get over and make the play. That's the big play that the Iron needed to get this drive going.
Saxton, 3 catches for 54 yards on the run. Perez, and into coverage and incomplete. Was looking for Tobias Palmer, and he's slow to get up.
It's like Palmer may have felt Duke Thomas coming over.
Yeah.
2. Targeting.
8:02 left. They tend to Tobias Palmer. Will step aside in a tie game.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
So good to see Palmer walking off under his own power there. Last week, 2 catches for 31 yards. This college football at North Carolina State. Here's another look, Arch.
Tim Lewis saying that should have been targeting.
What do you think?
You know, he does get hit in the head or neck area, but Duke Thomas does make the attempt to get his helmet out of there and leads with the shoulder. So I think you could make a case for targeting, but I also understand that It's a really tough situation to be in if you're a defensive back, and it looked like Thomas did everything he could to take his helmet out of the play.
Thomas back in. He was injured early in the season. And the penalty flag has been
Previous play.
Dropped at midfield.
Number 21, defense. Unnecessary roughness. Hit on a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So they do get Thomas with a 15-yard penalty.
No doubt, tough play for Thomas.
Yeah.
He hits him, he does hit him in the head and neck area with the shoulder. Sometimes, you know, I empathize with defensive players how challenging it can be to make that play and make that tackle and getting your head out of the play, but he did hit him in the head or neck area. Tough play for Thomas.
Yeah. Can't imagine having to not make that play and let up in an instant. They dump it off to Richardson over the middle. Richardson inside of the 30 where he's gang tackled. We move inside of 8 minutes. Temple and Lanning, two linebackers there to stop Trent Richardson.
Really, when you look at the Commanders, you know, they've done two things today. They've limited the big plays down the field, and I think they've tackled well. A lot of gang tackling when Perez has dumped it to his running backs and to players underneath. And you really haven't seen the Commanders out of position in this game. They're flying around, they're making plays. This is one of their better defensive performances of the season.
For sure. 2nd and 4 for Perez. Hands off, Richardson going nowhere. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That is about it. Deion Barnes there leading the charge for San Antonio.
It's tough to get anything going when you have penetration from the backside. Barnes beats the left tackle, left guard, inside, gets inside position, makes contact in the backfield. Job well done. Look, ooh, ball comes out. Richardson's very fortunate that he's able to regain possession of that ball.
He certainly is. 3rd down and 4 now for Birmingham. Perez dumps it off, flag down, catch made by Richardson. And Richardson still fighting, hat's coming off. We'll have to check the marker first. As Dunn lost his bucket.
Offside. Defense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
Tyrone Holmes, the guilty party for the Commanders.
Well, this is how he gets the pressure, number 58 coming off Perez's right side. But look at the awareness from Perez, sensing this pressure and getting the ball out of his hands. And I thought it was interesting, studying for this game, that Perez is under pressure more than any other quarterback in the alliance, but he is so good at avoiding the sack, at avoiding that pressure and getting the ball out of his hands. That is great awareness right there to get that ball into Trent Richardson's hands.
Good stuff. Brandon Ross is in at running back. Play clock. They get it away, or do they?
Little false start.
Yes.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Kid O'Brien, normally their left guard, playing center today in the absence of J.C. Hassenauer.
See, the play clock was winding down, and Perez needed that ball snapped, and just a little hitch. And O'Brien's giddy up right there.
That's right. Tim Lewis, first-time head coach. His team off to a 3-0 start. One of 2 undefeateds in the 8-team alliance. Orlando 4-0 after their win last night in Salt Lake. 1st and 15 now. Perez, pressure, gets away. On the run, flings it, intercepted. It's intercepted. A throw he shouldn't have made, and it's picked off by Zach Sanchez. Big time play from the Commanders.
This is just a cat-like reaction from Zach Sanchez. Luis Perez trying to make something happen, throwing the ball into coverage, and Sanchez gives the ball right back to his offense.
Cover it up. That's what I did when I started losing my hair. Then I realized I could actually do something. Now I use Keeps, the easiest way to keep my hair. And it only costs $1 a day, which means no more covering up. Get started at Keeps.com.
Well, he disappointed Luis Perez on the bench. Second interception of the season for Zach Sanchez, Arch.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of bad decisions where the defense didn't make him pay. And that time, you can see as soon as he throws that ball, he's trying to avoid the pressure from Barnes. And he throws it right behind the helmet of Zach Sanchez, but Sanchez with great reaction skills. 15 interceptions at Oklahoma. You know he's got great ball skills, and he's able to adjust his body, fall back inside, and make the interception.
Fifth-round pick of Carolina back in 2016. So San Antonio got the most breathing room they've had on any of their drives today. They started here. And it's Farrell with a season high in rushing yards. He's now reached 80 in this game. That's 74 in the last time you and I and our crew saw San Antonio against Orlando in week 2.
It's been tough yards, and I think more importantly, we keep beating this, is how they've been productive on first downs. And that's kind of been the key to their drives today. When they've been in second medium or third and short, third medium, they've been productive.
Again, Farrell to the right side, gets a block, and still going. And he's inside of Birmingham territory. There's a flag that came in as Beniquez Brown rode him to the ground. Check the penalty, though.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 52. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Was a 26-yard run. They'll tack on more, and we look back at it from up top, Arch.
Well, here it is, 85, the tight end Cam Clear, who I think has had a phenomenal game run blocking. He's the one that seals the defensive end, and Farrell doesn't have to do anything except turn this into a sprint. Get it upfield, get it up into the secondary, and then tack on another 15, and all of a sudden, the Commanders right now are knocking on the door of the 30-yard line.
They are.
This is where they took shots in their last game in this part of the field.
Trey Williams spins his way through there, able to pick up 3 on the run. Impressed watching him last week, Williams. The speed, different kind of attitude with him in terms of the backfield they have.
He gives them game-breaking ability, but right now Mike Riley has to figure out what the recipe is to attack this Birmingham defense that gets stronger as the field gets condensed. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of take some shots here around the 30-yard line to try and get in the end zone.
Flip side, over the middle. Catch made down to the 20, that's a first down. The reception made by Cam Clear, the big tight end, to move the chains. Williams checks out, Farrell back in. And
you've got 2 players right now if you're San Antonio. Mikhail McKay, who has been a little quiet today. He's got the big frame, 6'3", 206 pounds. And the other guy they like to get the ball to in this part of the field is Greg Ward Jr.
And both of those guys you mentioned, each with 2 catches. Farrell reversing his field. Farrell into the middle, but Birmingham able to sniff it out. Ike Spearman, former Eastern Michigan Eagle, with a tackle. Here's a look at Farrell's day, Arch.
He's been productive. He's been a workhorse today and has been kind of the only spark to this San Antonio offense. Over 80 yards rushing so far in this game has given the offense an opportunity to set up their passing game, but he's been the one productive, consistent force today for Mike Riley's offense here as they face 2nd and 6.
He's now at 19 carries, now 20 for 111 yards. As we are inside of 2.5 to play in the third, Jeremy Folk, the first to get to him, and again, 3rd down. As you see Farrell's line, the 4th 100-yard game in the month now of the Alliance, week 4.
But it really, doesn't it all come down to this? You got a 3-3 ball game, 3rd and 3 against the best red zone defense in the Alliance.
Love it.
This is where you've got to make something happen.
Here we go, here we go.
Trey Williams
Bingo, son.
next to Woodside. Williams trying to find a seam and does. Williams, touchdown! Trey Williams, left side. 12-yard run. What a burst from Williams. And we got our first touchdown of the day. It's 9-3 San Antonio.
Here's what I love about this run. Williams, who is an outside runner, as soon as he gets outside, he goes north and south. He uses that speed to break contain, but then watch how fast he squares up that shoulder and then explodes. And right at that point, he has too big of a head of steam, and the Iron cannot make that one-on-one tackle. What a drive by Woodside, Farrow, and the Commander's offense.
Here in the Alliance, of course, you have to go for 2. San Antonio 2 of 5, and they're going to be 2 of 6. That one batted down as Sales gets in there. Arch talked about him earlier. His impact.
Better capitalize on you.
7 plays, 77 yards.
Well, we talked about big plays, and this is kind of what started it. Zach Sanchez takes advantage of a poor decision and a poor throw from Luis Perez, and then after a beautiful drive, Trey Williams is able to punch that thing from 12 yards out. What a drive, and what an answer from Mike Riley's offense.
Hand it off. Hand it off. Cut
it. Good stuff. So ball placed at the 25 and right back to it. Trent Richardson, now Birmingham. Can they respond and react to the touchdown with some positive mojo here offensively? Richardson, it got to him in a hurry. Just not working so far today. That defense has been ready for him as Tyrone Holmes made the stop.
Well, there's so much penetration, and the Commanders, their edge players today, has just done an outstanding job, whether it's Winston Craig, Arthur Miley, Dion Barnes. I mean, there is nowhere for Richardson to run. They are stacking it up inside, and their edge players are dominating and getting into the backfield.
2nd and 10, 70 seconds to play in the quarter. Perez under pressure, dumps it off. Richardson caught it, dropped it. And what are we going to have here? Did he ever make the catch?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he did either, Arch.
Well, Zach Sanchez is fired up. Here he is today. Wow.
Officials timeout for an injured offensive player.
So let's take a look back. An injured Brandon Green there. He was hurt earlier and came back in. Here's the play again, Arch.
Really is, and spoke about it earlier, just how well the Commanders defense is playing, the way they're converging on the underneath passes. How many times have we seen Perez try and throw something underneath or dump it off to one of his running backs, and right there, contact right on the reception. Perfect pad level, makes the play, and it's the way you play defense out there. Sanchez with the big interception and then backing it up with a physical tackle on a big, powerful running back.
Look, a young Adam Archuleta, right?
Somehow. Let's
to 1-0-2 and started on the snap.
Referee John O'Neill just getting the clock set in the stadium. 10, Tim Lewis looks on. His team just 3 points on the board here today. And a critical 3rd down here, late stages of the 3rd quarter. Perez has to throw it under pressure, and a dangerous throw that for Birmingham. They're thankful it's incomplete. There's a flag down. There's Devontae Bosby, who's had a big game.
Bowsby just ran this route for his receiver. I mean, Bowsby's thinking to himself, I'm going to pick this ball off. I know exactly what's coming. I am going to jump all over this curl and go the other way. And I want to say that was Quentin Patton. Or it was LaDamian Washington.
It was.
Offense number 17. The penalties declined. 4th down.
Yep, and Washington the guilty one on the penalty, Arch.
A great technique by Bowsby, number 41, and it looks like he's the receiver in Washington. Yeah. Really makes a good play right there, and instead of giving the Commanders a chance for an interception on the 25-yard line, just forces the punt.
Here's Schmidt on the punt. Greg Ward from the 33. Ward's got a seam. Ward's still on his feet. And they drop him, but it's not before he gets into Birmingham territory, where Elijah Campbell made the stop. And great field position after this, Arch.
Well, you know he's exciting.
Yep.
You know what he can do with the ball in his hand. He just needs reps. And in my eyes, the more that Greg Ward Jr. touches the football, the better football player he is going to be. Great stop and start skills. Talked about how he was a wonderful quarterback at Houston, but just needs to play football, and that's exactly what this league is for.
Yep. Over 11,000 total yards and over 90 touchdowns in his college career, trying to make a statement here in the Alliance.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a shot right here, sudden change.
But it's Farrell, and Farrell can't get away, as busting through is Jonathan Massaquoi.
Massaquoi has been all over the place. 39 games in the National Football League. 2 sacks coming into this game this season. You've seen him play the pass. You've seen him play the run. He is having an outstanding game.
Clock down to 15 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. 9-3 lead for San Antonio. They've got the rock. Woodside on the run to the sideline, and they say incomplete, as McKay tried to make the play but was unable to. 3rd and 9 coming up.
3rd down.
Great look at it there. Third and 9. When they've needed 8 or more, 0 for 4 for Woodside and the Commanders offense.
Here we go. Bingo, side.
7 of 12 overall on 3rd down. And dump it off into the hands of Farrell. Kenneth Farrell not going to get there. There's a flag in there. Right there at the 40-yard line as time expires here in quarter number 3. Holding, so says John O'Neill, our referee.
You get Alonzo Moore, the wide receiver, number 19 out there.
Offense number 19. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down. That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
You nailed it, Arch.
Number 19, Moore, and you can see easy. Look at the left hand right there. Takedown.
Jamar Summers. That's the end of the quarter. 4th quarter coming your way. San Antonio on top by 6. You're watching the Alliance on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Look at some of the best moving pictures of the day. We appreciate our tape room for putting that together. And let's get down to John Schriffen standing by down on the field with linebacker Joel Lanning.
All right, Ben, thank you so much, Joel. Coming into the game, a lot of the talk was about Trent Richardson with 6 touchdowns, leading the league. How have you guys been able to completely shut down this run game?
Our D-line's getting after him right now. We prepared all week for this. You know, we knew that he was a great player and that they were going to try to run it on us. The last few weeks we put on film that teams can run it on us. So we prepared all week for it. And, you know, we got a quarter left to go complete this thing. So we'll be ready.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
So the thoughts from Joel Lanning, the former college quarterback turned linebacker, now playing professionally here in the Alliance as a linebacker. 3rd and 16, Arch, from midfield for San Antonio, leading this game by 6. First play of the 4th quarter.
Bingo, side.
Woodside takes a shot down there. incomplete. They look for McKay. No flags. Clean play turned in.
Did that look like PI to you, Ben?
A little bit, yeah. It was Summers on the coverage.
Let's check it out.
Let's watch.
Summers, head turned inside. And does the arm get there? Boy, that's tough.
It's really close.
That's tough and real speed. Glad to see they let him play.
Yep. Summers last week, big in the second half against the Atlanta Legends. Felton makes the catch at the 15. Felton trying to make a big play. And a pretty good run back of about 12 yards. Scott Daly, long snapper, making the tackle, getting downfield. Early on in this fourth quarter, 6-point deficit for 3-0 Birmingham.
I've been a soldier for 3 years. I've scaled the toughest terrain and faced plenty of my fears as part of my training. And for the past 2 years, I've been a Navy Federal member. So even out here, I can pay securely with mobile pay, linked to my free checking account.
I don't know about this. It's...
What did she say?
She said, I don't know about that.
I couldn't hear my helmet.
No, your ears are completely exposed.
Yeah, I just...
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
17 seconds have elapsed here in the fourth quarter. Good look at things from our sky cam, and San Antonio's defense back out there. And yeah, that's what they say, forge on, and they forged on at least so far through the first 3 weeks. They've done that, trying to remain undefeated. As Perez and the offense back on from the 25, 26-yard line is where they'll start with Brandon Ross, the deep back. Ross has got it left side, found a seam, got through there, and he takes it out. Gonna spot him down at the 39, former Michigan Stater Curtis Drummond on the tackle.
Well, Ross, again, showing that he's got some burst and some speed to get outside. Weak side run. He reads that his left guard, Larson Graham, gets the block, and then he just gets outside and explodes upfield. That's the type of play that they're going to need on first down. And I really think that for Birmingham, if they want to get back, if they want to win this football game, it's going to have to be on Luis Perez. I don't believe they're going to be able to run the ball consistently, so he's going to have to make some big throws with his arm to score points.
Patton went in motion. Perez scrambling, directing traffic. Nobody's open. Just got to throw it away. Excellent job by that secondary and the San Antonio defense as a whole on that play.
Grounding. Quarterback was outside the tackle box and the ball made it beyond the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Damian Washington going across the field. They love that concept, that three-level concept where they have short, intermediate, and deep to one side, trying to overflow or flood the zone to that side. But the Commanders defensively again today have been in great position and have not left a lot of room out there for Perez to complete the ball downfield.
San Antonio, as you just saw, they do give up a lot of yards through the air. Pressure coming. Ball knocked out, and looks like Birmingham's on it. They'll unpile it. They've got it. And on the recovery in there was Dominic Jackson.
And Commanders right now are starting to turn it up a little bit. Outside rush. Perez climbs the pocket, but just a great effort right there. Wow, what a job by Elliott to just stay with it, turn the corner, chop the right arm, get the ball out. And the Iron very fortunate to get that ball, but now Perez facing 3rd and 10, and he's going to have to make a big throw.
He's looking to do just that. Dumps it off over the middle to Ross, but that's not going to work. It will not work, and they bring on the punt group. Pressure was applied by Joey Mbu.
You wonder right now if the talent up front for the Commanders, one of the better, if not the best pass rushing team now in the Alliance, is starting to take advantage of an undermanned and injured Iron offensive line.
Yeah, it's a great point. Start of the game with shifts in their offensive line, and a couple of guys dinged up in this game. 12.5 to go in this one. San Antonio up 6. They've got it when we return. Nine-3 our score, 12.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's take a listen to our most recent mic'd up segment.
Pepsi! 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 Angle. Yes! We got it. Woo!
Hey, way to hustle. Atta baby.
That's dangerous now.
Some of the sounds from our coaches and the players that are mic'd up here in the Alliance. One of the many great things about this new league. Adam Archuleta, John Schriff, and all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden. Great to have you with us here in a low-scoring but good ball game here in Birmingham. They give it off to Alonzo Moore, and Moore picks up about 6. He was stopped by Max Redfield. So what do you think, Arch? Too early to start burning time if you're San Antonio, or you just keep running your offense?
Well, you keep running your offense. It's never too early. Hey, I guarantee you, Mike Riley would love to end up with a drive just like the one he started the game with. Yeah. Just keep the ball, 21-play drive all the way down the field. That's exactly what he's looking for right here.
Farrell in the backfield. Farrell head down, they move the chains. So in the first half, Kenneth Farrell had 13 carries for 52 yards. In the third quarter alone, Farrell had 8 for 63.
Yep, and one of the, if you can say there is a weakness for the Iron on defense, it would be their rushing defense, where not last week, but in the previous 2 games, they had given up some yards on the ground. I think the patience of Mike Riley, and I think the offensive line has really done a nice job of, quite frankly, being more physical than the Iron. And you see Farrell has been able to take over and now has 122 yards in this game.
Yep, he's got it again. And you also saw, as he gets back to the line of scrimmage here, you also saw Greg Ward Jr., there he is, appeared to injure his ankle on the punt. Let's look back. Buckled up right there.
They just kind of a turf monster situation where...
Yeah.
No gain, 2nd and 10 from the 33.
He's a playmaker. 2 grabs for 24 thus far.
55. Here we go.
2nd and 10. Ayers in motion. Woodside wanted to go to him, and it was tipped on the left side. Dixon got a piece of that ball. Xavier Dixon got a hand on it. 3rd and 10 coming up, Arch.
Edge players, whether it's Massacoy or Taylor or Dixon, they've really done a good job of affecting the throws of Woodside here in this game. And if there's one thing that's been in the favor of the Iron, it's been the 3rd long situations. To me, that's kind of been the difference here today. Anytime it's been 3rd and long, it's gone the way of the Iron, and anytime it's been 3rd and short, it's gone the way of the Commanders.
Or 3rd and no
25.
shirt.
Bingo.
Flag flies. False start.
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Okay, toy left.
Side breaks the huddle. I think they have the wrong number on the penalty, but nevertheless, it's 3rd and 15. 7th penalty on San Antonio.
If you're Woodside, you have to make the safe play here. Do not try and do too much and make the mistake.
Stands in, gets it out there, and they can't make the play. They can't make the play. Campbell all over that that secondary once again.
Oh, Campbell almost here. Just talked about cannot make the mistake. You got Farrow on the flat. The ball is a little bit high, and Campbell almost makes a game-changing play, but just can't quite bring it down.
13 tackles and a fumble recovery for him. 6th punt of the afternoon for Zima. Felton, this is a booming punt. Felton fields it at the 10. 62-yard punt from Zima. 10:17 to go.
Nothing comes easily. That's what happens in golf and in life. I'm very fortunate that I can lean on people, and that for me is what teamwork's all about. You can't do everything yourself. You need someone to guide you and help you make those tough decisions. That's Morgan Stanley. They're industry leaders, but the most important thing is they want to do it the right way. I'm really excited to be part of the Morgan Stanley team. I'm Justin Rose. We are Morgan Stanley.
Well, this drive, they're going to spot the ball, the 11-yard line. San Antonio defense, Arch, it's been really, really, really good.
And they've pretty much rendered the Birmingham Iron offense one-dimensional. They've shut down Trent Richardson in the run. And just as Perez had the offense driving, Zach Sanchez with the big interception. The very next drive, Jaron Elliott around the corner strips the ball from Perez, and the Commanders defense, especially here in the last 2 drives, starting to get after and put pressure on Perez and make things extremely difficult. The fact that they're one-dimensional has really hurt this offense.
At their leading 14th sack here today, Brandon Ross, the ball carrier. His first game as a running back was just a special teams guy prior. That was his 7th carry of the day. And he's got 44 yards, about a 7-yard average for Brandon Ross.
Yeah, much more effective than Trent Richardson.
Today, yes.
Offense, you know, this is a grinded out offense. They don't have a high average per carry. They've done it with a volume of rushers. They need somebody that has some breakaway skills and give the offense a big play on the ground.
Toss here to Ross. Ross got the first down and then some. Forced out of bounds. But a big run and a first down run for Brandon Ross. As Darren Smith forced him out, gain of 16.
Brandon Ross should put himself in line for some more carries with the way he's carried the ball here today. This time attacking the perimeter of the Commanders. And you can see there's a definite difference in speed between he and Richardson. Richardson has good power inside in short yardage situation, but Ross showing he can get outside.
Here's his 9th carry of the day. And he's up to 64 yards. As we now slide under 9 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. 3-0 Birmingham trying to put together a drive. Trailing by 6.
Which makes it even more interesting now that you have to go for 2.
Yes.
If they do get the touchdown, be pretty exciting here if they can get down the field.
I like it. Patton in motion there, stops, they toss it, and Ross top of the ball, but got it back, Ross. And he lost it again! He lost it again! And San Antonio believes they have it. And the officials are saying that's the case. And the referee, more importantly, says they have it. Darnell Leslie got it.
Fumbled once, get the ball back. Great strip that right there. It looks like it was Barnes, number 94. And what started as a promising drive and a great opportunity for Ross to make a case to get some more carries in this offense makes the critical mistake. And again, the Commanders' defense comes through and makes the big play when they needed it.
No doubt about it. They are in prime position. They put Rodriguez in front of Farrow. Farrow gut. Good push there from Jared Jones-Smith. The left tackle played his college ball at Pittsburgh.
Stopped by Jeremy Cole.
Good look at him there.
Tell you, Kenneth Farrow is running tough today.
He is. Since the very first drive, right?
He really is. I mean, this is one heck of a performance. 24 carries, 127 yards. Really, it was his big run that was the spark, a 26-yard run that led to their only touchdown drive of the day, but gotta love how Farrow's carried the rock.
He's got it again. Farrow! And he's still on his feet! And Farrow taken down shy of the goal line, inside of the 1. And that will set up 1st and goal.
Evan Rodriguez now playing a little fullback. This is just a lead to the weak side. And Farrow again.
Yep.
Follow the tight end, run to daylight, make the first tackler miss, run right through him and power yourself down to the goal line. Looks like just about a half-yard short, but what a tough afternoon of running by Kenneth Farrow against a tough Birmingham defense.
Farrow's got it again, trying the right side, and that Birmingham defense, they stop him about a football length shy of the goal line. This is where they're so tough.
It is. But I tell you what, if you're the Commanders, you're not worried about it because you still have possession. And the clock is winding down. You're in great position right here. You've got a 1-score lead.
Last week against Atlanta, I mean, we were both blown away by what they did. In the red zone, can the Iron flex their muscle and come up and keep San Antonio out of the end zone? Timeout, Commanders. They've got 2 left with 6:22 to go in the ball game.
And if you're Mike Riley, the perfect situation right now is to basically run it 3 more times. Maybe twice. Maybe you don't want to risk a 4th down, but you want to just be able to bleed this clock as much as you possibly can.
Brandon Ross disagrees, but you're right. He's the one that lost the football, and right now, Riley's offense trying to stick one in the end zone.
Yeah, Ross he's shaking his head. I mean, what a great afternoon for him as well. 10 carries, 53 yards, and really kind of looks like he's got the makings of a guy that can give this offense some big plays on the ground.
Yeah, 5'11", 205, good size, good speed, good mix of power, all those things. So 2nd and goal now. Farrell, the deep back.
Okay. Bingo set.
Woodside gives it off, and Birmingham again. Massaquoi. They come up with a huge stop. Falk in there as well. And it brings up 3rd and goal.
Oh, great get off and great penetration inside. Wow, watch Falk, how quick he gets off the ball, how he beats the guard inside. Man, gets into the backfield. That is swarming defense, and Falk making another big play here today for his defense.
He is, led the defensive line last week with 5 tackles, had 2 tackles for loss. Tim Lewis loves him, said he's a yes sir, no sir type guy. Very quiet, here we go, Woodside to the air, Woodside, the wall, no! There's a flag though, comes in from behind, and Summers was on the coverage. Oh boy.
A lot of contact initially at the line of scrimmage. Summers got a great jam on Ward. Now here's the question, did the contact...
Defense number 26. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
That's really tough to swallow if you're Birmingham.
Yeah, pay attention to the press at the line of scrimmage. Summers, I mean, to me, it looks like it was hard to see exactly where his hands were right there, but it looked like to me that Summers on the goal line played that how you're supposed to play it.
So at the 1, Farrell back into the game. Farrell's got it, and Farrell, he can't get in. What a job again. Beniquez Brown in there, and host, Casey Sales, as well.
So impressive. Casey
Really
Sales
is.
this time is the point. There is nowhere, no movement whatsoever. Sales, a rock on the double team, stacks it up. Brown is there. Spearman is there. Defensive line is something else.
Wow.
But a red zone defense, but time is ticking off of that clock.
It is.
Tim Lewis.
Here's Farrell again, and he can't get in again. Are you kidding me? What a clinic. 3rd and goal coming up. Beniquez Brown leading the charge.
So once again, it's Casey Sales, number 90. They keep running it, Sales, and he is stacking it up. He is the guy at the point of attack. Number 90 right here, and there is no movement. Watch how he just attacks that gap. Nobody there, and then you've got the rest of the iron to come up and make the play.
Let's go, it's 5 seconds.
6 play from the 1-yard line.
Bingo, sir.
Play clock winding down. They didn't get it off. Or they took the timeout. Took the timeout.
Charge, timeout. San Antonio.
So they've got 1 left with 4:10 to go. I mean, I don't think there's any question here, Arch. If you're San Antonio, you're putting this thing in the end zone, right? And that's what you want to do on whether 3rd or 4th and goal.
No, absolutely not. If you kick the field goal and make it a 2-possession game, if you don't get a touchdown here, you don't give Birmingham the ball with only a 6-point deficit. So this is not 2-down territory, but you've really got to credit the Iron defensively for standing tough. But because of that pass interference now, you're going to work with about 2 minutes less than you would have when you get the ball back.
It's the top defense here in the Alliance. Tim Lewis and his guys trying to come up with another stop. Kenneth Farrell, he'll be behind Woodside.
Here we go.
2 tight ends set to the top of your screen. Woodside, Farrell trying to get there, and he doesn't! They stop him again! What a show, what a performance by this defensive front. Tim Lewis is like, yep, that's right.
Boy, it really is. Watch the right side again. There's just nobody there. Wow, there's Sales again, right at the point of attack. He's the one that gets there first, and then everybody else rallying. Now, San Antonio forced to kick the field goal here in only 3 minutes and 57 seconds left in what might be a 2-score game here for the Iron. So really, in essence, it worked out for Mike Riley because they got 4 more downs and they got to bleed out more clock. And they're still, if everything goes their way here and they kick the field goal, you're still going to be up by 2 possessions.
Rose will trot on. Enter the weekend, one of free kickers in the Alliance, perfect on field goals. 8 for 8 on the season. Chip shot. Good snap, good hold, and that one's up and true. And it's a 9-point San Antonio lead with 3:58 left in the game, Arch.
Well, San Antonio taking the ball back, bleeding the clock. Some great running up inside, and all of a sudden now nursing a 2-score game. Birmingham gets the ball with a chance.
How old are you? Basically 15. I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
Shazam.
A lair. Yes, if you have a location like on a cliff,
Overlooking some water.
then we will take that.
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX.
So Nick Rose gives San Antonio a little breathing room, a 9-point game. And now it's time for Luis Perez and Birmingham. If they want to climb back into this thing here, they've got to have a touchdown here or points of some sort. Washington out near midfield. Devontae Bosby back there nearly got it.
And Perez had him. He had the window, had the look, had the defense. Washington was open, and Perez throws the ball behind, and Washington cannot make the adjustment to come down with the catch.
2nd and 10. Birmingham's got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. Perez takes a shot, got him in! Catch made down to the 39-yard line goes Felton. The speedster comes up with a big play.
Well, great touch. They've had 2 big pass plays, and both of them have come in the middle, right between the hash marks. And again, the best 2 throws of the day from Perez over the linebacker and in between the hash mark for a much-needed big play.
34-yard pickup to Felton. Here's Perez, stands in, open man at the 25. And he finds Washington that time, gain of 16.
Commanders are playing a really soft zone. They're trying to not give up the big play. So there are going to be some opportunities underneath and in the intermediate routes. So Perez has to be precise when he's hitting those windows.
He's been the last 2. Surveying, nobody open. Perez going to keep it, took a shot. Down to they're going to spot him down at the 22-yard line as Arthur Miley took him down. Timeout taken by Birmingham. They've got 1 left. Well, it's time now as we've got an opportunity for our TurboTax game-breaking highlight, and it happened in the 3rd, Arch.
It was such a big play because it looked like Birmingham was starting to get something going, and then Zach Sanchez takes advantage of Perez's mistake. And then Trey Williams, after a brilliant drive down the field, led by Kenneth Farrow, running the football, Williams punches it in for a 12-yard touchdown. And that was the turning point and difference in this game.
Yeah, it was. Now Birmingham, 2nd and 7 facing them. 2:48 to go, a timeout, and the 2-minute warning for the Iron left. Perez, under pressure, just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
When Perez has been able to get the ball out of his hands on time, have you noticed today the passing game has worked?
Yes.
But when he holds it just to count, or the Commanders have forced him to get outside the pocket, that's when things have been able to break down for this offense. So the key for him and the key for this offense, get the ball out on time. That's when he's been at his best.
3 for 10 on 3rd down out of the Iron. Looking to get 7 here. Yards, that is. Perez in trouble. He got out of there. And there's a flag that came in. Patting the target. Looked like Duke Thomas.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
See number 21. It looked like the holding happened before the reception point. Wow, good job by Perez to avoid that pressure. I thought we were going to have a situation where Tim Lewis had to decide, do they kick the field goal on 4th down and maybe go for the onside conversion or risk having to go for it on 4th and 7.
Right.
But because of the pass interference now, you get 1st and 10 and a new set of downs.
8 penalties on San Antonio. And Richardson was out in the flat. Miscommunication there. Perez threw it way in front of him. Jaron Elliott applied the pressure there. 2nd down coming up.
But that was a kind of a heads-up play from Richardson to not go for this football. Let it be an incomplete pass. don't get tackled, don't let the clock run. You've got to save some time right there. And now you've got 2nd 10. It looked like, I thought San Antonio maybe got a little quick jump on that snap. But again, Perez is going to have to make a throw in a tight window against the secondary that has played maybe their best game of the season here today.
They have been very good. 2.5 to go in the 4th. Ladarius Perkins in the backfield next to Perez.
Ball start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Corin Curvin, the guilty one there. The false start. Backing Tim Lewis's guys up 5. Seven penalties on Birmingham from the 17-yard line. Not like Birmingham. They've been very smart and disciplined in the penalty department prior to this game. Perez taking a shot into the end zone. Felton wanted the flag. And there's one on the far side of the field. The 13-yard line.
Defense number 33. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Zach Sanchez, who had that big play earlier.
Yep. We've seen a couple times. Sanchez, number 33 in the slot. Does he reach his arm out there? Just a slight little hook, and it doesn't look like a lot, but it is. Past 5 yards, he does hook Felton, and that, even though it's pretty fine, that is a hold.
9 penalties on San Antonio. 1st and 10 now for Birmingham. Luis Perez under pressure, flag on the play, came in from the middle of the field, back in the secondary. Pressure was applied by Dion Barnes.
Luis Perez. Correction.
Well, we've got a flag fest. Is this a?
It's a lot.
This is a flag festival. Oh my goodness.
Here's the verdict.
Illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Arthur Miley. Going to move it a little closer for Birmingham. They'll spot the ball at the 7-yard line against Mike Riley's crew. Riley's guys up 9.
Yes.
2 and change to play, plus the 2-minute warning. 10 penalties, 75 yards on San Antonio. And San Antonio.
San Antonio, their 3rd and final timeout.
So they're out of timeouts, as you heard, and Birmingham, one of 2 undefeateds left in the alliance. Orlando already played one last night in Salt Lake, and they're 4-0. Birmingham trying to keep pace. They play next week here in Birmingham.
Yeah, and we talked about San Antonio sitting here at 1-2, in good shape here in this game, but I still think that they're one of the better teams here in the Alliance. Their record maybe not showing that, but you know, San Diego gets the big win in Arizona. So things can get pretty interesting, and I think really what I'm seeing is first couple of weeks, teams starting to feel themselves, starting to find themselves. Now we're starting to get a good identity of who these teams are, and I think the quality of play is going to get better and better as teams start to dial in exactly who their personnel is, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and things can get pretty interesting here down the stretch.
I like it. 1st and goal from the 7. Perez. Sideline, Trent Richardson pays the price, but he gets it inside of the 5-yard line. Several heavy shots delivered in there. He hangs on to the football, and Temple leading the charge. Reached the 2-minute warning. It'll be 2nd and goal when we resume.
2nd and goal from the 2.
You know what San Antonio has done such a good job of today is getting Perez off his spot.
Yeah.
And getting him to move to his right. And that's kind of, you know, when he's able to stay in the pocket, get rid of the ball on time, he's made some good throws. And Richardson trying to use that power. Almost gets in there and gets a touchdown, but.
Yeah. He's got 6. Leading the alliance in that department.
There's still plenty of time here.
Oh, yeah.
We know this, if Birmingham is able to get in the end zone, and would love getting a chance to see the onside conversion attempt again.
That was fun last week.
Yep, we got a chance to see it in our game last week, and that was a big play. Matt Sims throwing a bomb down the field.
Shontavious Jones made the catch and tapped it up to himself.
2nd goal from the 2.
So in the last 14 snaps, we've had 6 penalties and 10 net yards. Birmingham, though, has got a 2nd and goal from the 2. Luis Perez has not thrown a touchdown pass this season because Trent Richardson has done the damage scoring, but not this time. 3rd and goal coming up, Arch.
The Commanders taking a page out of the iron book and playing some goal line, goal-to-go defense of their own. Just a force up inside. And we've talked about how good San Antonio's defensive front has been and the way they've been able to get penetration in that clock. Tim Lewis is forced to call that timeout, and all of a sudden Birmingham has to try and figure it out.
Yep. Both teams are out of timeouts now. With 1:54 to go on the drive. 8 plays, 2 have been on the ground against Mike Riley's defense. And his team on top by 9. Third and goal. Richardson there, you saw him next to Luis Perez. Now goes into the slot. Perez looking to find somebody, anybody open. Nobody's open. Perez now takes a shot. And knocked away. Duke Thomas. They look to pat, and there's a flag down, though, in the middle of the end zone.
Perez. Defense, number 41. Half the distance from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
That's on Devontae Bowsby.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, Perez eating a sandwich back there. The coverage was so good. I mean, sometimes it's almost impossible not to hold or interfere when the quarterback is holding the ball for that amount of time. And all of a sudden, Birmingham, 1st and goal. Looks like it was for the Commanders.
Yes. And they were held to a field goal. But lead the game by 9. Richardson walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Birmingham. Richardson's 7th touchdown in week number 4 makes it a 12-9 game with 1:41 to go. 9 plays, 75 yards, took 2:14.
Really tough to stop Richardson in this part of the field if you can't get full body contact. You just stick your shoulder in there, stick your arm in there, you are not going to be able to bring him down. And that time just does what he does best on the goal line, and a huge 2-point conversion right here for Birmingham.
Tough day running it. 8 for 15 for Richardson, but the touchdown now. You have to go for 2 if you're new to the alliance. No point afters. Patton in motion outside. Perez surveys. Still got it. Another sandwich back there, I guess. Throws it in. It is caught! Caught by Felton. Just in the end zone across the goal line. And it's a 1-point game. Wow. Kidding me.
Oh, a 3-man rush.
Yeah.
Perez has all the time in the world, and Felton goes up high, ball breaks the plane of the goal line, and now all of a sudden it gets interesting.
4 for 8 on 2-point conversions. And Felton, his numbers on the season. And the onside conversion rules replaces the traditional onside kick. They are going to review this, we're being told.
It's a tight play at the goal line. We have a shot down the line. It's tough to see, but due to the line feed, we're pretty good with the confirmation here. This is a good score.
So look and
confirm the
listen.
ruling on the field, yep.
Our replay official today. Was there any question in your mind when that happened or not? That it was good?
Retain possession by putting the ball in play, 4th and 12 at their 28-yard line.
Well, the only question being, because he fell out of the end zone, did it break the plane? Was it in the plane of the goal line when he had control of the football? I think on that look, because both feet were in the end zone and the ball were in front of his feet, that's why that play was confirmed.
All right, so here we go, the onside conversion attempt. It's 4th and 12 from your own 28-yard line.
All right, baby, let's see what Perez has in store. And who is going to be the go-to receiver? There really hasn't been one receiver that has emerged in this game as the security blanket for Perez. Now remember, his best throws of the game have come in the middle of the field between the hash marks.
Birmingham trying to convert here and keep the football. The onside conversion attempt. Perez throws it down there, and it's intercepted! Taken away by San Antonio. Orion Stewart with 90 seconds left. So they took a bit of a shot, and it's picked off by Stewart. He was looking for West Saxton, the intended target.
Well, to me, this has been the key.
Injured player, my apologies.
What a great job there. But the key to me for the Commanders shutting down this passing game is getting Perez off the spot. That time they made him go to his left. There was only one option out there. He was double covered, and he had to throw it into traffic. But the Commanders today had a great defensive game plan and how they defended this iron passing attack.
Second interception of the season for Orion Stewart. And Luis Perez in Birmingham, as Wes Saxton was the injured player. Intended target there on that 4th and 12 conversion was LaDamian Washington. It was taken away by Orion Stewart.
The secondary for the Commanders today have played a smothering type of defense, and really no separation today from the iron. Nowhere to throw the football, and they did what they came in here to do. They wanted to stop the big explosive plays, and really did a great job here today.
They really did. No timeouts left. And Mike Riley, his guys are going to even their record at 2-2. Opened up with a victory Saturday night, first weekend of the Alliance 4 weeks ago against San Diego. We had them, our crew had them in week 2 against Orlando, and just an incredible football game and a great environment. And then they go out to San Diego last week. Things went sideways for them, and they come here and they shut down Luis Perez and the Birmingham offense. Birmingham's defense, I mean, I know you're going to lose the game, but I don't know if you're going to play any better. Their defense. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, they did exactly kind of what they've done all season. It's just the offense was not able to take advantage of opportunities.
Well, you said a couple times that they needed big plays down the field, and they really didn't get those.
That's been the one area where the Commanders have had an Achilles heel, if you may, and where they've lost game. It's because they've given up big plays. And I think for the Iron, their offense, they've been a grinded-out offense. Somehow they've got to find a way to inject some big plays and explosiveness into their offense if they want to continue to be a winning football team.
Well, San Antonio wins it by 1, 12-11. And they're 2-2, and Birmingham is now 3-1 in the East. Orlando, the only undefeated team remaining in the Alliance. Let's get down to John Schriffen standing by with Kenneth Fair, who had a monster day on the ground. Schriff.
Oh, he had a monster game. Actually set the Alliance single-game rushing record, 142 yards on the ground. How did you get it done?
Man, O-line, they came out from the jump, and we was able to get pushed on the front line, and we just kind of took that and rolled with it the whole game. Hats off to Birmingham, man. They played a hell of a game. Had to fight the whole 60 minutes, but O-line did a great job, and defense came through when we needed to.
It was a big fight. Birmingham is huge up front. They are tough. You couldn't get in the end zone on that one drive there. How did you get any kind of a push against that front?
Man, it was hard, man. Like I said, the whole game, it was kind of find a hole, get it, and if it wasn't there, just kind of get what you can. So, like I said, hats off to them, and our O-line played a hell of a game today.
We knew you guys were better than what your record indicated. You played that tough game against Orlando. When you get a win like this, what does this do for your season?
It's good. It's just a refocus. You know, we came into this game definitely humbled after leaving San Diego, and we knew that we had to get back to the basics. And so to come out here and get a win against a team like this is what we needed to do for us.
It was impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was impressive. 142-yard rush game, had 138 in 3 games coming in. For Adam Archuleta, John Tripp, and all of our crew, Carlo Generini, our producer, Matt Plundo, our director, Mike Pittman, our associate director. My name is Ben Holden. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After a short break, stay tuned for the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League. We say so long from Birmingham, Alabama, and thanks so much for watching The Alliance.